We're in Southern California with Toyota driving the new Crown Signia.
We've got a couple questions for you. CVT even.
Yeah. Good old hybrid in the Signia.
We do have it in sport mode.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into one engine option only. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 2.5-liter four-cylinder hybrid system. It's matched to an eCVT and has a combined 240 horsepower, standard all-wheel drive, and you can put regular fuel in the Signia.
Basically the same powertrain they use in the Lexus NX. It's got the same horsepower output. All right, so only sold with one trim in Canada, but two trims in the United States. What are the key standard features?
The limited model comes standard with dual 12.3-inch screens, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, an 11-speaker JBL sound system, 8-way heated and ventilated power front seats, driver's seat memory, leather-trimmed upholstery, a heated steering wheel, a fixed glass roof with sunshade, heated rear seats, a power tailgate, and Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. There are a couple features that the XLE model does not get in the US. That's the JBL sound system and the fixed glass roof. Those two features are available.
Well, we already have it in sport, as it should be. What else can we put it in, Andrea?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Couple Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. So we spent about an hour or so driving the Signia already, and we said you can hit the like button. I like this a lot, Andrea. I'm absolutely very impressed.
Okay, so I'm floored. Now, if I remove the Toyota badge in here and you told me I was driving a Lexus, I would say, oh yeah, this thing is so refined, so smooth. Toyota said that they worked on noise, vibration, and harshness in this. We are on California highways. This thing is quiet.
Yeah, so on the way here, we're going over those concrete divided highways you get in Southern California, and usually it's thump, you know, it's so quiet. And this one is the one we get in Canada with a larger 21-inch wheels as standard equipment. In the US, you can get a smaller 19-inch wheel, which would make it even more comfortable. But even with the large wheel, it's gobbling it all up. For me, Andrea, the biggest thing is I'm going to say the W word. Is this a wagon?
I know. It's a crossover. It's a SUV. It's a wagon. Hey, this thing drives like a sedan.
That's what I was getting at.
But it's got the versatility of an SUV. That's what I love about this. You sit lower to the ground. It's got that wide stance. You know what? I think that Toyota nailed it. Hey, in my opinion, this is going to be a big seller. When people get in this and they feel the way this handles, they're going to be impressed.
Yeah, so for me, I was just getting to the point is that it's got all the attributes you get from a wagon, which is the utility, but you sit lower to the ground, as Andrea mentioned, you get great driving dynamics, and they've dialed in a really nice steering feel. It doesn't feel sloppy and vague. It's a really direct steering, and when you put it in S, it's a little bit heavier. It's got a European almost driving dynamic to it, so I could totally see for all of those people that have been abandoned with station wagons except the Outback.
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, it's back, baby.
And when you compare it to the Venza, you know, a lot of people felt like they were getting a Lexus with Venza, and I would agree with the interior and some exterior styling, but the Venza is definitely louder than this, and it's gone anyway. So when you get in this, you'll definitely feel the refinement. It's got 3 drive modes: normal, eco, and sport.
And subscribe.
You've got an EV mode. So if you're driving really slowly, like in a parking lot, you can drive it in pure EV mode. And the all-wheel drive system has a dedicated rear electric motor. So if you need the extra traction, you'll get it.
Well, I just think it looks like a wagon. It's a good-looking wagon, but I still think it looks like a wagon. So anyway, you guys are all going to type below. Do you think it's a crossover, or do you think it's a wagon, or do you think it's its own thing? And we're going to talk later about the competition. Does it even have any competition? I think inside the Lexus brand it might. But on the outside, it has a Lexus vibe to the front grille. We saw the grille from this basically start in the RX, and it's migrated to this with very thin headlamps and tail lamps. Sleek looking.
Yeah, I really like the wide stance that that this offers. Now, let's get into the ground clearance because I know a lot of you wanted to know, what is it? 6.7 inches of ground clearance. So that is quite low to the ground, which is why we say it drives more like a sedan. That's 1.5 inches lower than the Venza.
Okay, so we asked today, in Canada, are they going to make the 19-inch wheel available at the dealer as an option? And the big reason why is it snows and it gets wintry in Canada, and you don't want to go out and buy 21-inch winter tires. It'd be nice to get 19-inch, but still get the alloys that are sold for this product. After recording this video, we found out from Toyota that the smaller wheel available on the Crown sedan is a direct fit on the Signia. So if you want 19-inch wheels, they will be available at the dealership.
But let's talk about what the limited trim comes standard with. Projector LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, power folding mirrors, which is a really nice feature to have. Of course, it's not standard on the base trim in the US, but it is available for you. And there's a package that you can add to the limited model, whether you're in the US or Canada, to get some extra features like a panoramic view monitor, traffic jam assist, front cross traffic alert, and lane change assist.
Okay, we're going to get into the interior, which is a wow as well. We'll show you the back seat, the cargo area, the specifications. Then we'll get into what does this compete against. So the interior of this, I think, is really Lexus grade. It's got a Lexus grade interior, and I actually like this screen look better than the big 14-inch one you get, say, in the NX. I'm not loving the big knobs they have in the NX. I think this is a much better integration.
This is a 12.3-inch touchscreen. We mentioned already it comes standard with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And even in the US, you get that screen as standard equipment. I think that this interior is beautiful. I've never been in a Toyota with this type of interior. You've got the digital shifter, you've got this cargo space that opens up on two sides, whether passenger or driver, and just the trim piece throughout. How about this tan interior? You can get it in black, you can get it in tan, you've got some bronze accents inside. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, you've got a nice digital instrument cluster as well behind the steering wheel, and lots of buttons, which is nice to see for the HVAC controls and also for your drive mode. So it's a combination of touch interface and also analog buttons, and I think that's just the right balance. Andrea, let's get into you know, the specifications of the back seat and everything, and I want to talk about who this competes against, because
who does it compete against,
so
right?
All right, so here's me getting in the back seat. One thing about this vehicle is it is big. It has a lot of legroom, even pretty good headroom. The seat doesn't recline, and you sit back, but boy, it's comfortable.
Comparing the Signia to the Lexus RX in space, it offers 42.1 inches of front row legroom, which is a little more space than the RX. Second row legroom at 37.1 inches is pretty close to that Lexus.
And this is where I think it resembles a station wagon, is the cargo area. It's longer, lower, and wide. I love this design.
Overall cargo space at 66.1 cubic feet offers more space than the RX. Space behind the second row at 24.8 cubic feet is a little bit smaller than the RX. Now there's two things that this model doesn't have. It doesn't have tinted windows, and in the rear seat there is no sunshade.
And this panel roof, it doesn't open.
And I asked Chief Engineer about that this morning because some of you wanted it to open. And I said, is it because you want to keep the weight down? And he said, yes. And also if it opened, it may change the driving dynamics. So they really want to get the best fuel economy in this Signia and the driving dynamics to be like this.
And a sedan, so a big heavy cartridge up there would definitely change things. So if you're going with Wagon non-luxury, you basically got Outback. But this isn't the same as an Outback. It's definitely more posh and upscale than a Subaru. I really believe that the greatest competition for this isn't inside Toyota or outside Toyota. It's the Lexus family. I think this is going to steal some buyers away from, say, an NX.
Sure.
You've got a huge back seat, as you mentioned, about the same legroom as an RX. It's cheaper than an NX. It's got basically the same powertrain. Like, this thing I think is going to sell.
Yeah, that base model NX hybrid that we're a big fan of, if you don't start adding, a package to it, that price point is quite nice. But for all of these features that you're getting in this limited model Signia, there is some good value here for sure. So I was thinking about wagons. Would you compare it to something like a Volvo? I mean, this interior is refined like Volvo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, there are very few wagons left. If we're calling it a wagon, and we're calling it a wagon. Sure, sleek crossovers, there's really not much like this. Andrew's right, Volvo's in there. It doesn't, type below. We want you to tell us who you think this competes against. Yeah. So just takeaway is, it's got a polished and upscale ride, and it's got a very polished and refined interior. So, what do you guys think? And is the badge important to you? Is the Lexus badge so important to you? Or would you go for the Toyota Signia and have, I think it offers better value. But the Crown, Andrea. Crown does carry some weight, especially with people that know about that badge. So we know that the Crown sedan has the more powerful hybrid powertrain. We asked Chief Engineer again this morning, will this get the more powerful hybrid powertrain? And he said, no, not right now. Not right now. Okay, let's get into the fuel economy is a big one because this is a hybrid. Can it tow and more in our vital stats? Let's start with pricing. The limited model in Canada starts at just under $57,500. That's MSRP. And in the US, the base model starts at just over $43,500. The top limited trim is just under $48,000. Here's the fuel economy for this hybrid. It's 6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.4 on the highway. That's an impressive 39 miles per gallon in the city, 37 on the highway. This Signia can tow 2,700 pounds, and the warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. In the US, you get complimentary scheduled maintenance for 2 years, or 25,000 miles. Lightning round, 2 things we like to see improved. I love the way that this handles. I think it looks great. What I'd like to see Toyota add is maybe some rear sunshades in the back for the kiddies on a super sunny day in San Diego. Yeah, all right. The other thing is the higher performance hybrid would be nice. You could really make this, you could slam it down a little bit, make it look a little more street. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so what do you guys think of that one? That's the all-new Crown Signia. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.